Well, hello folks, Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Quick follow-up video on the video I just published about selling your soul to the devil. In that video, we mentioned one Brigadier General Jonathan Moulton. A couple of fascinating factoids that I thought I would share with you about the general. He did play an important role in the history of New Hampshire, and many tales of his adventures, as we're going to see, would become legendary. He fought in King George's War. He also fought in the French and Indian War. So the guy actually, obviously had some skill in fighting and leading men. And in the American Revolution, he served as an early moderator of town hall meetings, was a member of the Committee of Safety, and his wife died of smallpox, and then during the first 2 years of the war, as a colonel, he guarded an 18-mile seacoast of New Hampshire against British invasion, and then in the fall of 1777, he marched with his men to the Battle of Saratoga in New York with the defeat of Lieutenant General Jean Bourgon's British Army invading from Canada. So he was a very successful guy as far as military exploits go. He was promoted to Brigadier General by George Washington himself, who was impressed with his battlefield skills. And at the end of the war, the American Revolution, Moulton continued his role, and he was the Brigadier General of the First Brigadier General of the First Brigade of the New Hampshire Militia. He was rewarded lands for his success during the war in New Hampshire. Founded that town of Moulton Borough. He had a nice farm. He died at the age of 71 in 1787. And George Washington stopped by and paid his respects to Moulton's widow Sarah on his tour of the new USA. Now here's what I wanted to look at, some supernatural legends about Jonathan Moulton. He was called the Yankee Faust because he had made a deal with the devil, and we talked about that the devil would fill his boots with gold every month. Well, you can see this one's a little bit fantastical because he got the biggest pair of boots he could find in the whole province of New Hampshire. And when the devil came to fill his boots with gold, he found out the boots wouldn't fill no matter how much gold he poured in. And Moulton had cut the soles off the boots and put the boots over a hole in the floor. So the gold fell into the basement of the house. And the devil, being outsmarted by Jonathan, burnt down his house in revenge. And the gold coins disappeared. There's also a legend that his first wife, the ghost of his first wife, came in on his wedding night and took the ring off the finger of the new wife while the both were in bed together. How about that? And in a final legendary story, a pallbearer at Moulton's funeral opened the coffin to find it empty, replaced by a box of gold coins with the devil stamped on them. He was in fact buried without a tombstone, and the site of his grave is now unknown, even though Washington had initially visited it. Now that's an interesting story. Now you see, if I was able to get in that motorhome and just roll, because we had this a little bit of support, we could go up there and we could have done this show right from Moulton Borough, New Hampshire. Wouldn't that have been cool? So that's the kind of stuff we're looking to do. That's the kind of stuff we want to do. And I want to thank those of you that have become unindoctrinators. Thank those of you that are sharing this channel's URL on your social media. And thank those of you that are supporting me through my PayPal or through my Patreon, which are both in the URL for this video. So a nice follow-up to, can you sell your soul to the devil? Well, it looks like you can. And it looks like you can try to outsmart him. But you know what they say? They say the devil always gets his due. So I don't know about that, but that certainly is an interesting follow-up. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, encouraging you to unindoctrinate yourself. unwind your mind, and, again, most importantly, above all, unindoctrinate yourself.